You woke up this morning. That sentence, those 4 words, are more remarkable than they sound when you say them quickly. Say them again, slowly, with the weight they actually carry. You woke up this morning. Your eyes opened. The world was still there. Your body, this miraculous, complicated, quietly faithful body, had kept every single one of its promises through the night. And here you are, on this side of the dark, with a day in front of you that no one has lived yet. That is a privilege that cannot be overstated. And today, this morning, right now, we are going to stop long enough to feel the full weight of it. There are people we knew, people some of us loved, who went to sleep last night and will not see this morning. There are families in this country, in this city, in neighborhoods not far from ours, who are sitting in grief right now because someone's last morning already came and went, and they did not know it was the last one. There was no dramatic farewell, just the ordinary end of a night, and then nothing, and the people they left behind are holding this morning differently than they held yesterday morning, with a new and terrible understanding of how quickly ordinary mornings can become the final one. We do not know when our last one will be. That is not morbid. That is what makes this morning sacred. Every morning is a gift precisely because there is no guarantee of another one. Every waking is an act of grace because no body keeps itself alive, no heart keeps its own rhythm, no mind produces its own consciousness. These things are sustained, they are upheld, they are given day after day, morning after morning, by a God who has the ability to withhold them and chooses instead, in His mercy and His love and His unfinished purposes for our lives, to give them again. He gave them to you today, and that is where we begin, not with a to-do list, not with the news, not with the weight of everything that needs to happen between now and bedtime. We begin here, with that single, enormous, simple truth. God woke me up this morning, and I am going to say thank you. Think about what it means that this day was not guaranteed. You did not set an alarm and earn it. You did not go to sleep last night with enough credits in some heavenly account that you were owed another morning. You simply closed your eyes and trusted, without thinking about it consciously, that when you opened them again, the world would still be there and you would still be in it. And it was. And you are. That trust was honored. That morning was given. That is grace. Lord, I come before you right now. Not later. Not after I have organized my thoughts or gotten myself into a more composed frame of mind or felt more worthy of your presence. Now, in the morning honesty, in the between the night and the day moment before this day has had a chance to demand anything from me yet. Right now, exactly as I am, I come to you. And the very first thing I want to say is thank you. Thank you for this morning. Thank you for the specific, singular, unrepeatable morning that this is. Thank you that my name was in your awareness before this day began. Thank you that before my alarm went off or my body stirred or my mind began to surface from sleep, you were already here, already present, already at work in the world I was about to wake up into. Thank you, Father. I want to be specific about what I am grateful for, because gratitude without specificity drifts into vagueness and eventually into nothing. General gratitude is well-meaning, but it slides off the heart. Specific gratitude lands. So this morning, I am going to be specific. I am grateful for breath. Not in the abstract sense, in the literal, immediate, physical sense. The breath that is in my lungs right now as I pray. The automatic, magnificent, taken for granted miracle of respiration. Air moving in, oxygen entering the blood, carbon dioxide moving out. The lungs expanding and contracting thousands of times each day without any conscious instruction from me, without a single reminder, without fail. I breathe while I sleep. I breathe without thinking about it. The machinery of it is so perfectly designed, so reliably faithful, that it has probably been hours since I last thought about it. I'm thinking about it now, and I am grateful. Thank you, Lord, for breath. For the specific breath I just took, for the one I'm about to take. I am grateful for my heartbeat, for a heart that is beating right now, stronger or weaker than it has been at other points in my life, perhaps, but beating. Carrying blood through a system so vast and intricate that if you laid every vessel in one human body end to end, they would reach around the earth more than twice. That system is running in me right now, quietly, constantly, without requiring a single thing from my conscious mind. I did not design it or earn it or build it. It was given to me. It came with me from the very beginning, and it has not stopped since. Thank you for this heart, Lord. This ordinary, extraordinary, faithful heart. I am grateful for vision, for whatever degree of sight I have this morning, for the ability to take in light and translate it instantly into recognition and meaning and beauty, to see a familiar face and know it, to read words on a page, to look at the room I am in and feel oriented in the world. Even those of us who need glasses, even those whose eyes have changed over the years, still carry something remarkable in those two small instruments, something designed with care, something given freely. I am grateful for language, for the fact that I can understand what is being said in this prayer, for the fact that meaning can travel from one mind to another through combinations of sound and symbol, for the ability to think in words, to pray in words, to tell the people I love what they mean to me. Language is one of the most astonishing things in the whole human experience, and we use it so constantly that we forget to be amazed by it. I am amazed by it this morning. Thank you. I am grateful for memory, for the ability to remember the faces of people I love, to remember the kindnesses shown to me, some of them years ago, still sustaining me now in ways I might not even track. To remember the times God came through when I could not see how He possibly could. To carry the past inside me not only as weight but as resource, as proof that hard things have been survived before, as evidence that God has been faithful before, as lived testimony of grace that I can hold up in a difficult moment and say, He was there then, and He is here now. Thank you for memory, Lord. Even the complicated parts, even the ones I would rather not carry. All of it has shaped me into who I am today. All of it is part of the story you are telling with my life. I am grateful for the capacity to feel, to love and to grieve and to be moved by something beautiful, and to genuinely care what happens to people I have never met. This emotional life we carry is not a weakness. It is one of the most profound marks of being made in the image of a God who Himself loves and grieves and delights and cares. Every time tears come at something beautiful, every time real concern rises in me for another person, every time love shows up in me for someone who has not earned it, I am reflecting something of the heart of the God who made me. That is not a small thing. That is one of the main things I was made for. Thank you for making me a feeling person, Lord, even on the days when feeling things is harder than not feeling them. Now I want to say something that I think is worth staying with before we go further, because it speaks to why a morning prayer specifically matters. There is something that happens to a person when they begin their day in gratitude rather than in anxiety or complaint or the rush to get through whatever is coming. Something shifts, not the circumstances necessarily. Those may stay exactly as difficult as they were before the prayer began, but something inside shifts. The same situation looks different when you carry into it a heart that has already said, I was given this day, and that is more than I could have earned. Something like peace enters a grateful heart before the day has even fully started. Something like steady courage takes up residence. Something like hope, quiet, unhurried, genuinely real, plants itself right in the middle of what looked hopeless before. Gratitude does not deny hard things. It is not positive thinking or willful blindness. It does not pretend the difficult is easy or the painful is pleasant. What gratitude does is place the hard things inside a larger story, a story where the God who set the stars in their places knows your name and knew it before you were born, and chose this morning to let you see another sunrise. That is not a small comfort. That is the deepest comfort there is. Let us keep going. Father, I turn now toward the people in my life. I want to thank you for them specifically because I think we undervalue this regularly. We say we are grateful for the people we love, and we mean it, but we say it in passing. I want to say it with intention today. Thank you for anyone I will speak to today. For the people who have been walking alongside me long enough to know what I look like on my worst days. Not the composed version, not the one I show acquaintances, but the actual version. And who have stayed. That is a remarkable and specific form of grace. That is loyalty built over time, and it is one of the ways love makes itself visible. And I do not want to walk past it without noticing it today. Thank you for the friend who picks up the phone when I call. For the family member who checks in without a reason other than that they were thinking of me. For the neighbor who waves in the morning. For the colleague who makes a difficult environment more bearable. For the stranger who held the door or smiled at a moment when I needed to be reminded that the world still contains ordinary kindness. These connections are not accidents. You are too intentional for accidents. You placed people in our lives with purpose, even the unexpected ones, even the ones who arrived through difficulty, even the ones whose presence we did not initially want. And each of them is a form of grace. Thank you for the people who poured into my life without asking for anything in return. The teacher who stayed after school when they could have left. The mentor who saw potential in me before I could see it in myself. The pastor who prayed for me without my knowing about it. The grandmother who interceded for decades before I was old enough to understand what intercession meant. The friend who called at exactly the right moment and said exactly the right thing and had no idea when they dialed the number that they were answering a prayer. You speak through ordinary people, Lord. You do extraordinary things through willing, unremarkable human beings who simply showed up. Let me be that for someone today. Let me be the unexpected kindness. Let me be the word that lands exactly where it is needed. Let me be the patience when someone was expecting irritation. Let me be the answer to a prayer I will never even hear about. Let my gratitude today have practical consequences. Let it move me toward generosity, because when a person truly knows how much they have been given, holding tightly to what they have begins to feel unnatural. Gratitude opens the hand. Let mine be open today. Lord, I come to you now with the weight of what some of the people listening are carrying. Because this is not an abstract audience. These are real people who have come to this prayer from real places. Some of them received difficult news recently and are still trying to absorb what it means for their lives. Some of them have been in a long and hard season and are tired in the particular way that years of difficulty makes a person tired. Not dramatically, not visibly, just deeply worn in a way that a good night's sleep does not fix. Some of them are managing something no one around them fully understands. Some of them are lonely in a way they have not been able to name. Some of them are afraid. Some of them almost did not press play on this prayer because they were not sure they could sit with words about gratitude when gratitude feels very far from where they are right now. For every single one of those people, this prayer is real. It is meant, and I am asking you, Lord, to be real in response to it. Meet them in the specific place of their specific need. Do not let them get through this day feeling unseen. You know what they walked into this morning. You know what is waiting for them at 9 o'clock and at noon and at 3 in the afternoon when the day's wait usually hits hardest. You are not surprised by any of it. You prepared for it before they were born. And your resources for meeting them there are not limited by what they can see from where they are standing. Father, I lift up anyone who woke up this morning carrying grief. Grief is patient in the most painful way. It is always there, waiting in the dark, and the morning light does not always dissolve it. Sometimes the grief is fresh. The loss is recent, the absence is acute, and ordinary things keep surprising people with sadness. A coffee mug on the wrong side of the sink, a name that comes up on the phone, and it takes a moment to remember that the person is gone. Sometimes the grief is older, worn smooth by years of being carried, not as sharp as it was, but still present, still shaping everything, still there in the first quiet moment of the morning. Both kinds are real. Both are held by you. You are the God who enters grief, not the God who stands at a safe distance from the pain and offers instructions from across the room. The God who came into this world and wept at a graveside. The God who is described in your own word as being close, not near, not nearby, but close to the brokenhearted. That is a promise from you, not an observation from us. and I am asking you to make it real and tangible today for every person who needs it. Let them feel you close this morning. I lift up anyone who is dealing with something physical, the person who has a medical appointment this week they are afraid of, the one who already has a diagnosis and is learning, sometimes daily, what life looks like from here. The one managing a chronic condition that has become so woven into the fabric of daily existence that they barely remember what it felt like before, and who is tired in the specific bone-level way that only people who manage something every single day without a break truly understand. God, touch bodies this morning, the lungs and the hearts and the joints and the bones and the blood and the nerves and the cells and every system that is working too hard or not hard enough. You made this biology. You understand every part of it perfectly. Nothing about our physical reality is outside your knowledge or beyond your reach. Where disease has taken hold, you are not powerless. Where pain has become constant, your comfort is not absent. Bring healing in whatever form and at whatever pace you choose. And in the waiting, in the not yet, bring your presence so genuinely and so near that the waiting itself becomes something they can survive. You have never wasted a season in anyone's life. Not one. I lift up the marriages that are struggling right now, the couples who are sharing a home but experiencing a distance that has nothing to do with how many rooms are between them. The ones carrying something unspoken, hurt that accumulated without being addressed, words said in a tired or angry moment that landed wrong and were never repaired. The slow drift that happens to two people who love each other but have gotten so busy with the demands of life that they forgot to keep choosing each other deliberately. These things happen in good marriages, to good people who genuinely love each other and have simply lost the clear path back. Lord, start a conversation today that has been waiting to happen. Let one person take one step. Let one person soften first, even when they feel like they should not have to. Even when they feel like they have been the one reaching for a long time. Let there be one genuine moment today that reminds two people why they made a promise to each other, and that the promise is still worth keeping. You are the God of restoration. You are not unfamiliar with things that looked too far gone. You make things new. Let that be true in homes today. I lift up the parents who are worried about a child. Let me stay here for a moment because I know this particular worry is one of the heaviest things a person can carry. To love someone that completely and not be able to carry the hard thing for them. To watch them go through something and only be able to stand at the edge of it, praying, hoping, showing up in whatever ways are available. If that is you this morning, if someone you brought into this world was on your mind before your eyes were fully open, I want to say something I believe with everything in me. God loves your child more than you do. That sounds impossible. Your love for that child is enormous and fierce and has no bottom. But his love is larger. He sees things about your child that you will never be able to see. He knows things about their future that you have no access to. And he is not passive about any of it. He is active and present in your child's life, even in the very season that has you worried. Trust him with that child today. Keep praying. Keep showing up. Keep being whatever form of present you can be. But trust, he has them. I lift up the ones who woke up to a quiet this morning that is not peaceful but painful. The loneliness of a house that used to be full. The loneliness of being surrounded by people and still not truly known. The loneliness that does not announce itself dramatically but simply sits alongside you through the morning and into the day and is still there in the evening. Loneliness is one of the most honest forms of human pain, and I want to say clearly, you are not alone in your loneliness. Not because of a platitude, but because the God who made you for connection is present in the very absence of it. He fills rooms that feel empty. He is the voice in the quiet, and he is often in the background, in the process of bringing the right people, the friendship that has not started yet, the community that is one step away, the connection that will feel, when it comes, like something that was being prepared for a long time. Do not stop reaching for it. I want to come back to gratitude from a different angle now, because I think some of what we have prayed through might be raising a quiet question for some people listening. The question sounds like this: how do I find gratitude when so much is hard? How do I genuinely thank God on a morning that has felt gray for longer than I want to admit? Is gratitude even honest in a season like the one I am in? It is the most honest thing available to you. I mean that. Because gratitude does not require everything to be fine. It does not require pleasant circumstances or light feelings or resolved problems. Gratitude operates in hard seasons and comfortable ones, in abundance and in shortage, in health and in illness. Because gratitude is not based on the circumstances. It is based on the character of the one who gave the morning. And his character does not change with our circumstances. He was good yesterday when things were hard. He is good today. He will be good tomorrow, whatever tomorrow looks like. That is not optimism. That is a declaration built on history. Every generation of faithful people who has ever lived has recorded the same testimony. He has been good. He has been faithful. He has never ultimately failed the people who trusted him. Not in the famine, not in the exile, not in the long silence, not in the night that seemed to have no end. He has never failed. And we are his people. We are in that same story. The same God who sustained those people is sustaining us. And one morning, maybe sooner than we think, we will look back at this season and see the faithfulness in it that we could not see from inside it. That morning is coming. Hold on until it gets here. There is a kind of gratitude I want to speak to directly, because it matters for the people in hard seasons who are listening right now. Sometimes gratitude is not the wide-open, arms-extended, full-hearted kind. Sometimes it is much smaller. Sometimes it is just, I woke up, my cup is warm, the sun is at the window even if only weakly. I got one message from someone who loves me. I made it through yesterday, which honestly I was not sure I would. Start there. Start with the smallest true thing you can honestly say thank you for. Then look for one more. And then one more after that. Not because you are forcing a feeling you do not have, but because gratitude, like any living thing, grows when it is tended. It grows when you practice it. It grows when you choose it even on the mornings when it does not come naturally. And over time, not overnight, but over time, the practice becomes a posture. The prayer becomes a pulse. And the gratitude becomes the lens through which you see the world, so that you begin to find grace in places you would have walked right past before. That transformation is real. It takes daily practice. It takes mornings exactly like this one. Father, I want to thank you for things I rarely remember to name. Thank you for sleep, for the mercy of rest that you built into every human body, this nightly grace that repairs what the day broke, that processes what the mind has been holding, that gives the body and the brain the chance to do what they cannot do while we are awake. Thank you that I slept. Whatever hours I had, sufficient or not, thank you that my body knows how to use them. Thank you for food, for the fact that I know where my next meal is coming from. There are people in this world, and not far from here, who do not know that. There are children who went to bed hungry last night while I had more than enough. Let that acknowledgement move me toward generosity rather than waste today. Thank you for clean water, for warmth, for a roof, for the ability to communicate with people I love across any distance. These are remarkable things that most of us stopped noticing long ago because they stopped requiring any effort, and I want to notice them this morning. I want to say thank you for them while they are here, rather than only when I am afraid of losing them. Thank you for the natural world you made and sustain, for the sky being whatever it is right now, overcast or brilliant, rainy or clear, cold or warm, for the trees outside that are doing what trees do, for the birds, for the earth turning at exactly the speed it needs to turn, for the sun where it is supposed to be. None of that had to be true. You made it true, and you have kept it true through every storm and every century and every hard human season since the beginning. Thank you for the world. Thank you that it still works. Thank you for the people who are at work this morning before most of us are awake. The nurses finishing overnight shifts and handing off to the day team, who have been watching over patients through the small hours, the emergency dispatchers and the EMTs, and the police officers who have already responded to calls this morning, the workers keeping water flowing and power running and roads passable, the overnight crews in hospitals and distribution centers and everywhere else, where the work does not stop when the rest of the world sleeps. Thank you for their faithfulness. Let them feel seen today. Let them know that what they do matters, because it does. Thank you for the teachers who will show up in classrooms today, for the ones who love the children they teach in ways that go far beyond any job description, for the ones who notice the child in the back who is struggling at home, for the ones who carry a genuine calling into a profession that does not compensate them nearly enough. Let them be encouraged today in some way they were not expecting. Lord, I want to pray now about the gift of this practice itself, the practice of beginning the day here, in prayer, in gratitude, before the world gets loud and the demands get heavy. A person who has spent years beginning their mornings in gratitude is shaped by it in ways that show in how they live. They notice differently. The same world that looked unremarkable to them a decade ago looks different now, because eyes trained to look for grace begin to find it everywhere. They are more resilient because a grateful person carries inside them the accumulated record of God's faithfulness, and that record becomes a resource in the hard moments. I have seen Him come through before. I will see it again. They are more generous because when you know how much you have been given, the urge to hold everything tightly loses its grip. They are more patient, more present, more at peace with the life they actually have, rather than always mourning the distance between the life they have and the one they planned. They are more themselves, more like the people they were made to be. And it starts here, in the morning, in the quiet, before the day demands everything. In a moment with a God who is already awake and already glad they came. I declare something over this prayer and over every person who has prayed it this morning. I declare that today is a day of gratitude, not performed gratitude, not forced cheerfulness that papers over what is real, genuine, chosen, practiced gratitude, the kind with roots deep enough to hold in a storm. I declare that the eyes of every person listening will be open today to gifts they have been walking past. The small evidences of care, the unexpected kindness, the moment of grace so ordinary it could be missed but so real when you stop long enough to see it for what it is. I declare that the peace of God, not the peace the world offers, which is just the temporary absence of trouble, but the deep and settled peace that holds even when the trouble is present and loud, is available right now to every person who has prayed these words. They do not have to manufacture it or earn it. They receive it in this moment as a gift. I receive it, Lord, right now, in this morning, in this prayer. I receive this day as a gift and not a right. I receive the people in my life as grace rather than entitlement. I receive the health I have rather than grieving only what I have lost. I receive the provisions of today rather than being consumed by the uncertainties of tomorrow. I receive the quiet of this morning rather than filling it with noise before I have even heard what it is trying to give me. I receive all of it, with open hands, with a grateful heart. Father, bless the work of today. Whatever this day holds for the people listening, whether they are going to a job or staying home, caring for someone else or recovering themselves, surrounded by people or spending the day largely alone, let the work of their hands be done with intention and care, and a quiet awareness that you are in the room. For the person going to a job today that feels uninspiring, the work that pays the bills but does not light anything up inside, I want to say this: your faithfulness in the ordinary is not invisible to God. The way you show up consistently to the work that nobody applauds, the way you keep your integrity when no one is watching, the way you treat the people around you with dignity in a small and uncelebrated place. This is building something, not just a career, a character. And character is the thing that holds when everything else shifts. For the person who is caregiving today, a spouse, a parent, a child with extra needs, I want to say this clearly: you are doing sacred work. I know it does not always feel that way. I know there are days when caregiving is exhausting and invisible and repetitive, and the emotional weight of it is more than anyone warned you about when you took it on. You are doing it anyway, and the God who sees what no one else sees you in every moment of it. He does not miss a single thing you are giving. He does not forget a single sacrifice you are making. He is present with you in all of it. For the ones who are retired or whose formal working years have wound down, you are not finished. There are still prayers to be prayed that only you can pray, because only you have the specific history with God that informs them. There are grandchildren who need your time in a way no one else can give it. There is wisdom you carry that younger people around you desperately need and do not yet know how to ask for. There is a community that is richer because you are in it. You are not in the way. You are in the story. And God woke you up this morning because He is not done writing it. Lord, as we draw near to the end of this prayer, I want to say one more thing about gratitude, because I think it is the thing that will last the longest after the prayer is over. Gratitude, when it becomes a daily practice rather than an occasional feeling, is one of the most genuinely transforming forces available to a human life. Not in a motivational sense, not in the way people talk about mindset and perspective and reframing, in a spiritual sense. When we make the daily habit of returning to God and saying thank you, we are doing something that changes the actual texture of our days over time. We begin to notice differently. The same world reveals small kindnesses everywhere, a particular quality of light, the sound of a familiar voice, the relief when a hard conversation goes better than expected, the warmth of sitting across a table from someone you love. These things were always there. Gratitude just opens our eyes to them, and those open eyes become more and more capable of seeing God in ordinary things. That is not mysticism. That is simply a heart that has been trained to look. And looking becomes finding, and finding becomes gratitude, and gratitude becomes prayer, and prayer becomes relationship. And relationship with God is the whole point of everything. Every morning is another chance to deepen that. Father, I want to close with one final word of gratitude that is large enough to hold everything else. Thank you for your patience with me, for the years of it, for the constancy of it, for the fact that every time I drifted and eventually found my way back, you were there, unchanged, undiminished, ready to receive me. That is extraordinary. That is not how patience works between human beings, whose patience has limits and conditions and expiration dates. Yours does not. Thank you for that. Thank you for the long view you carry of my life that I cannot carry for myself. You see the finished version. You see what all of this is for. You see where this road comes out, even when I can see nothing from where I am standing but the next step. And you are working from that knowledge even when I am working from nothing but confusion and hope. Let me trust that today. Let me trust that you see something I cannot see, and that what you see is good. Thank you for the communion of everyone who has ever prayed before me, the generations of faithful people who started their mornings in thanksgiving, in fields, in small houses, in circumstances far harder than mine, and who planted something that I am now living in the shade of. I am not the first person to come to God in the early morning with a grateful and uncertain heart. I will not be the last. I am part of something larger than my own story, and today I am grateful for that too. Thank you for placing me in this specific moment in history, not by accident, by design, with purpose, with things placed in me that this particular time needs, and things in this particular time that will shape me in ways I cannot yet see. The match is not arbitrary. I am here on purpose, and so is every person listening. Go into this day knowing that. Go knowing you are not replaceable or redundant or accidentally here. Go knowing you were made for this specific season, this day, this set of relationships and responsibilities and opportunities. Go knowing that the same God who designed the eye and the lung and the heart designed you, with care, with intention, with a love that preceded your awareness of it and will outlast your life. Go grateful, not with a performance of gratitude, not with forced brightness, but with the genuine, earned, sometimes quiet, sometimes fierce gratitude of a person who stopped this morning and said, I woke up. I was given another day. The God who gave it is good. He has always been good. He will always be good. And He goes with me into every hour that follows this one. That is enough. It has always been enough. Lord, carry us through this day, into the appointments and the conversations and the unexpected turns and the quiet moments and the hard ones and the moments of beauty we did not see coming. Let your presence be the most constant thing about this day, more constant than the worry, more steady than the noise. more present than anything this day tries to put between us and the knowledge that we are loved. We began this morning with you. Let us end it the same way. And if the day turns out to be harder than we expected when we prayed, if the afternoon brings something that makes this morning's peace feel very far away, let us come back to this, to the gratitude, to the truth that we woke up and that was grace, and that the God who gave the morning has not moved an inch in the hours between then and now. He is still here. He has always been here. In your name, and with a full and grateful heart. Amen. Before you go, if this prayer reached you somewhere real today, would you share it with one person? Someone who needs to start their morning this way. Someone who is going through something hard and does not know that others are praying alongside them. Someone who forgot, somewhere in the difficulty of a long season, that they are loved. It costs you 30 seconds, and it might be the most important thing you do today. Leave a comment below. Just 2 words, thank you. Let that fill this space today as a collective offering. Subscribe, because every morning on this channel is another chance to begin in the right place, and that chance is worth protecting. Hit the bell so you never miss it. And to you, wherever you are right now, whatever you are walking back into when this ends, go with the knowledge that you were seen this morning. Before you pressed play, you were already known. Before you prayed a word, you were already loved. And the God who gave you this morning goes with you into every single hour of the day that follows. May this day surprise you with something good you did not expect. May the thing you were most afraid of turn out to be smaller than you feared. May someone say exactly the right thing at exactly the right moment. May there be at least one moment today when you stop, mid-afternoon or mid-errand or mid-conversation, and think, that was grace. And may you lay your head down tonight knowing this day mattered, that you mattered in it, and that tomorrow morning, if God allows it, you will get to do this again. Go in peace. Go in gratitude. Go knowing that you are not alone. Amen. Lord, I want to slow down in this prayer and speak about something I have not yet named, and I think it is something that deserves to be said plainly. There is a season of life that many people find themselves in, where gratitude feels dishonest. Not because they are ungrateful people, not because they do not believe in God, but because what they have walked through has been genuinely hard, and the gap between what they hoped for and what has actually unfolded is real and wide, and they do not know what to do with it. The life they are living is not the life they planned. The marriage looks different than they expected. The health has not held. The children have gone directions they did not anticipate. The career that was supposed to provide stability did not. The retirement does not look the way the commercials said it would. And somewhere along the way, the idea of saying thank you started to feel either hollow or impossible. I want to speak directly to those people this morning. Gratitude is not a denial of your grief. I want to be very clear about that. You are not being asked to pretend that the hard things are fine, or that the losses were not losses, or that the gap between what you hoped for and what you have is smaller than it is. You are not being asked to perform happiness you do not feel, or to tell God that everything is wonderful when He can see clearly that it is not. He knows what your life looks like. He was there for all of it. He is not going to be fooled by a cheerful prayer that covers over what is real. What gratitude does is not deny the hard things. What it does is refuse to let the hard things be the only things. It refuses to let the loss be the whole story. It says, yes, that was hard, and also, this morning was given to me. Yes, I grieve what did not happen, and also, I have this breath. Yes, the life looks different than I planned, and also there is grace in the life I actually have, if I am willing to look for it. And looking is not weakness. Looking is courage. It takes more courage some days to look for what is good than to stay in the familiar territory of what is broken. It takes more faith to say thank you in a hard season than to say it in an easy one. The easy season gratitude is beautiful, and God receives it. But the hard season gratitude, the thank you offered through difficulty, through confusion, through tears, through the kind of faith that has been tested and has come out the other side still holding on, that is extraordinary. That is faith at its deepest, and God knows what it cost you to offer it. He receives it with something that I believe looks like tenderness. So offer it, even imperfectly, even incompletely. Even if all you can manage is, Lord, I do not have much to offer you right now, but I am here, and I am still reaching toward you, and you woke me up this morning. That is enough. That is more than enough. That is worship. Father, I lift up the ones who have been faithful for a long time, the people who have been praying for decades, the ones who have walked with you through more seasons than they can count, the easy ones and the devastating ones, the years of abundance and the years of genuine scarcity, the seasons of clear direction and the seasons of long silence, the ones who woke up this morning and came to prayer not because it feels exciting or new, but because it is what they do, because it is who they are, because the habit of coming to you in the morning is so deeply embedded that they would feel incomplete without it. Honor that faithfulness today. Let them feel the weight of what they have built, these years of prayer, these accumulated mornings of coming to you before coming to anything else. Let them see that none of it has been wasted, that every prayer they have prayed has gone somewhere, that the years of faithfulness have produced something real and lasting in them, something they will carry into whatever seasons are still ahead, and let them know that there is still more ahead. Faithful people are not finished. They are not simply in a holding pattern, waiting for their life to end. They are still useful, still needed, still praying prayers that only people with that much history with God can pray, still carrying wisdom that younger people around them desperately need, still being used by a God who does not waste willing people regardless of age or season. You are not done with the long faithful ones. You will not be done until you are done. Thank you for them, Lord. For the men and women who have modeled what it looks like to walk with you through a whole life. Not just the good years, not just the seasons of visible blessing, but the whole thing. They have shown the rest of us what it looks like to trust you when trust is costly. They have demonstrated that you are faithful across decades, not just moments. They are a gift to the rest of us, and I want to say thank you for them this morning. I want to stay with one more image before we close. I want to think with you about the morning itself, not as a metaphor, as an actual thing, the morning you were given today. There is something about early morning that is different from any other part of the day. The world is quieter. The demands have not fully assembled themselves yet. The noise that will define the next several hours has not started. And in that quiet, before the day claims you, there is a window, a small, available, genuinely open window where something can happen between you and God that is harder to find once the day gets going. This is that window. This prayer is that window, or at least the beginning of it. And what you do with these first minutes, whether you rush through them toward the demands of the day, or whether you slow down in them and receive what they are offering, shapes how the rest of the day unfolds in ways you may not even track consciously. The person who starts in gratitude carries something into the day that the person who starts in stress or distraction does not. Not an advantage in the worldly sense, not better luck or smoother circumstances, but something internal, something that sustains, something that, when the hard thing happens at 2 p.m, provides a resource, the resource of a morning already spent in the presence of God, the resource of a heart that already said, before anything could make demands on it, I am grateful, I am loved, I am held, and I know it. That knowledge, established early, lingers. It has staying power. It is not immune to the pressures of the day, nothing is, but it is resilient in the face of them, and resilience is not about avoiding hard things. It is about having something real to hold on to when they arrive. Hold on to this morning. Take something from this prayer into the rest of the day. Not just a good feeling. Those fade. Take a specific truth, the one that landed hardest while you were praying. Maybe it was the reminder that God was watching over you while you slept. Maybe it was the word about the person you are worried about, being held by someone whose love is larger than yours. Maybe it was the permission to start small with gratitude, to say thank you for just one thing and mean it, and let that be enough. Whatever it was, hold on to it. Bring it into the afternoon. Bring it into the hard moment when it comes, because it will come. and you will be better equipped to meet it because you were here first. Father, one final word, one final thank you that holds all the others. Thank you for being the kind of God who receives morning prayers. Thank you for being the kind of God who is present in the early quiet, who is accessible to ordinary people in ordinary circumstances, who does not require impressive words or spiritual credentials or a long and perfect track record before listening. Thank you for being the God who told us to come to you, who said, "Come," who said, "Bring everything," who said, "I will not cast out anyone who comes." That is an extraordinary invitation from an extraordinary God, and the fact that you mean it is one of the greatest gifts in the universe. Thank you for meaning it. Thank you for this morning, for the specific morning that this is, for the fact that I am alive to pray it, and that you are present to receive it, for the grace that got me here, and the grace that will carry me through the rest of this day. I go from this prayer knowing that I am loved, that I am known, that I was given this morning on purpose, for purposes I may not fully understand yet, but that I trust. And I go with a grateful heart, which is the best thing I can bring to any day. Go with me, Lord, and with every person who prayed these words today. In your name, amen. I want to close this prayer with gratitude for something I have not yet named. Something simple, something that might seem too small to deserve a place in a prayer this long and this serious. I am grateful for this moment right here, at the end of this prayer, when nothing has been demanded of me yet today, and the quiet is still here, and the presence of God is, in some way that I cannot fully explain, real and close and available. I do not always feel that. Some mornings, the distance between me and anything spiritual feels enormous. Some mornings I pray at the ceiling and feel nothing come back. But other mornings, and this, I pray, is one of them for whoever is listening, there is something unmistakable in the quiet. A warmth, a stillness, a sense of being known. That sense is not something I manufactured. I would not know how to manufacture it if I tried. It is given. It arrives when it arrives. And when it arrives, the right response is gratitude. So, thank you. Thank you for this specific moment of prayer, for the quiet in which it happened, for the willingness to stop and be here, for whatever fraction of faith each person brought to it, however small, for the God who receives all of it, the whole offering, however imperfect, and who gives back more than we gave. That is always how it works with God. We bring what we have, which is often not much. He receives it, and He gives back more than we brought. We leave this prayer richer than we arrived, even if we do not feel richer, even if the circumstances are the same. Something happened here. Something was deposited. Something was received. We go now, with grateful hearts, into the gift of a day. Lord, bless every person who prayed this prayer today. Bless their going out and their coming in. Bless the work of their hands and the words of their mouths and the thoughts of their hearts. Bless the people they love. Bless the hard things they are carrying. And let your goodness follow them, not just today, but all the days of their lives. They are yours. In your name, amen. Lord, one final prayer before this morning gives way to the day. I pray for the marriages. I pray for the families. I pray for the children who are growing up in this complicated world and the parents trying to guide them through it with wisdom they are still learning themselves. I pray for the marriages that are strong. Let them be strengthened even further. I pray for the ones that are struggling. Let them find the path back to each other. I pray for the ones that have ended painfully. Let the people in those endings find healing and eventually something whole again. I pray for the friendships that sustain us, for the people who are a phone call away when things go wrong, for the communities of faith that open their doors on a Sunday morning or a Wednesday evening and provide something that cannot be provided anywhere else, the gathering of people who believe they are not alone in this and who sit together as evidence of that belief. Let those communities be strengthened. Let them be places of genuine welcome rather than performance. Let them reflect the warmth of the God they worship. I pray for this country, and for every country where someone is listening to this prayer right now. For leaders, whoever they are, and wherever they stand politically, let them be given wisdom that is larger than their own. Let them make decisions that serve the people in their care rather than only themselves. Let justice be the goal and let mercy inform how it is pursued. And let ordinary people, the ones who do not hold any official power, but who hold all the informal power of how they treat their neighbors and raise their children and spend their money and use their voice, let those people choose generosity and honesty and courage in the small decisions that add up to the culture we all live in. I pray for the ones who are suffering in ways that most of us are not aware of, the ones in hospitals, the ones in crisis, the ones in poverty, the ones in places of genuine danger. Let them not be invisible today. Let the people whose job it is to serve them do their jobs well. Let the volunteers and the donors and the organizations that exist to help them be resourced and strengthened. And let ordinary people who have more than they need find in their own hearts the impulse to share it. I pray for the church, not any particular building or denomination, but the whole gathering of people who call themselves followers of God across every tradition and every culture. Let the church be humble. Let it be honest about where it has gotten things wrong and brave enough to say so. Let it be generous. Let it be marked above all by the love it claims to follow. Let the watching world see in the people of faith something that is genuinely different. Not perfect, but genuinely different. Not performing goodness, but actually moved by it. And I pray for each person listening to this prayer, individually, by name in your awareness, even if not in mine. Meet each of them today in the specific ways they need to be met. Surprise them with your goodness. Steady them in the moments of difficulty. Comfort them in the moments of grief. Strengthen them for the work ahead. And let them end this day knowing that it was not wasted and that they were not forgotten and that you were with them in every hour of it. Thank you for this morning, Lord. For all the mornings you have given, and for this one specifically. For the grace of being here, for the privilege of prayer, for the open door of your presence that no failure or faithlessness has ever been able to permanently close. We go now, grateful and held and accompanied. In your name, always in your name. Amen.